I'm feeling dangerously low, so I'm gonna do what's right. I'm gonna do the right thing.
You have reached the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, also servicing the Veterans Crisis Line. If you are in emotional distress or suicidal crisis, or concerned about someone who might be, we're here to help. Para español, oprima el número 2. If you are a U.S. military veteran or current service member, or are calling about one, please press 1 now to speak with the Veterans Crisis Line. Otherwise, please remain on the line while we route your call to the nearest crisis center in our network. Your call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please stay on the line while your call is directed to an available responder. Please stay on the line while your Lifeline, how may I help you?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thanks for asking. I'm fine. I'm glad that you're calling.
Pardon me?
I'm glad that you're calling in.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad I am too. Just need to get past this, you know? What do they say?
It helps to have...
Go ahead.
What was that?
Don't they say you just gotta, get past 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah, that sometimes you can't take things day by day. You take it hour by hour or minutes by minutes.
Yep. I'm in therapy and I do that. I just in a very weird place. All of a sudden I've been really doing well, and so I reached out, you know, because that's important, and but it just felt so, I just want the pain to stop. And I just know I have to just get through it, you know. So I called.
You're really trying hard. You're in a lot of pain. You don't want to feel this way, but you're trying to get through that.
Yeah, it's all about overcoming, right?
Yeah.
Overcome. As long as you can overcome, it'll be fine. I got really in a weird state of mind, and it was, you know, it was serious enough to call. So I'm glad that you guys are here to talk, and I just gotta get past it. I mean, I have every will to live. You know, situational, and it's gonna be okay, right? You know, it always does. My family's going through a lot, and I just needed to talk to somebody and give them a break. You know what I mean?
Well, it makes sense that, you know, even if you have support in your life, sometimes you can't always reach out to them. Sometimes they might even be part of, you know, what's going on, and sometimes it just helps to talk to someone neutral.
For sure.
I completely get that. And I never introduced myself. My name is Mabel.
Hi,
Could
Mabel.
I get your first name?
My name.
If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 32.
Well, Sarah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no, I actually am really blessed because I have a wonderful therapist, you know, one of the good ones that I see weekly, and you know, I just don't know. I don't know how to go forward, and it's, you know, the holidays, and I was a little over 2 years ago, I was in a fatal accident, and I survived, the only one, and it gets tough for me around the holidays, you know, and only because I know how tough it's got to be for their families. But, you know, they're suffering so much worse than I am, and I think it's a good step. I reached out because sometimes I kind of, you know, I try to not be the one that complains or needs anything, and it's important we take care of ourselves, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're a really caring person. You care about other people. You care about your family. You care about the other people who were affected by the accident. And you're right, sometimes when we're focused on caring about other people, we can neglect ourselves. But you're right, it is important to take care of you. I'm glad that you are.
Yeah, you know, I have 2 daughters. They're 10 and 11, and I got to do everything I can. You know, it's important to take care of me so I can take care of them. I just, and obviously the worst thing that I could do for them as their mom is do something stupid when I'm depressed. So I do appreciate you guys having this lifeline, and, yeah, you know, I don't know, it's just heavy right now, you know, and it's situational, and, I'm reacting to things, that I've gotten really good at reacting, but then overcoming it, and I just got low, so I'm all gonna overcome it, but it's just, you know, I don't know, triggers and stuff, I guess, I don't know.
You're right that you're saying that right now, like, during the holidays, it's tough. It is a tough time. And
Yeah.
it makes sense that, you know, there will be more triggers, and it's trying to figure out, you know, ways to cope with them. But I did want to check in with you. I know you said that, you know, your emotional state was kind of worrisome today. You know, were you having any suicidal thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, not thoughts, I just wanted it to end. And, I came outside with my dog and was going to go for a walk, but I knew I just needed to call for help, you know, and get past it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I haven't had any suicidal thoughts in a solid 7 months. And I don't want to die. You know what I mean? It was just, it gets real heavy sometimes, and, you know, sometimes it's just, that's what family is.
No, that makes sense.
I'm not a burden, but, you know, I am in my situation that I'm in right now. It felt for a minute like, not that it was kind of just like a realization, like, I don't think I'm ever going to be that old Sarah, you know, like, I don't know who I used to be. I you know, I have head injuries, and sometimes you know, it was a trigger, and I'm okay now. I'm better. You know, I told my husband that I was going to call, and he's here, you know, my kids are here. They have friends over. So I came outside, but, yeah, I know I have a crisis plan, you know. I survived a very tragic accident, and so I mean, the last thing I want to do is take what I have, which is my life, for granted, you know. So it felt like it did a few times over the last 2 years, where just an urgent need to make the pain stop, you know. And but I feel like I think I did the right thing, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's just like
you're trying to
getting through that 10 minutes or whatever it is, you know? So
yeah, that Because you're taking it 10 minutes by 10 minutes. You're trying to figure out what are your toolkits. The things that
Yeah,
help you
and it's what it is
like,
meditation.
going out.
Absolutely, I have to
Yeah.
meditate. I'm an advanced meditator, and that's what's kept me healthy. But I think I just needed to cry and call, and you know what I mean? Because meditation sounds easy, but it's hard to do when you're not in that state. So, but I'm gonna be able to now.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys being there through the holidays, and
Yeah.
it's just a weird time,
It is, especially this year. I mean, not only, there's always something going on, right? There's always,
which is one thing, but there's nothing going on in regards to allowing our country to come together and figure it out. It's divided, and there's a lot of despair, I'll tell you. And I feel it right now, like for our country, but I feel like this lockdown, people are realizing that isolation kills. And unfortunately, I've been isolated to this house for 2.5 years. I don't drive. I don't leave. I walk my dogs. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's tough. But I've been doing it for, people that are in my situation, I know they know, but you can go mad not having interactions with people, outside. And
you're right. The isolation can be a lot of pressure. They can really make things difficult. And I did want to check in real quick. We can keep talking, but I did want to just check in. I know you said that you kind of had some thoughts, earlier. And were these just thoughts that you had, or did you have any plan to end your life?
I know how I would do it, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I didn't take any act, I called you. I don't know. Told my husband.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd be lying if I told you it's not like, oh, I want to die. It's like, yeah, let's do it. I want to, you know what I mean? And if I get triggered like that, I reach out, and you guys are always there. God bless you.
Yeah, we're always here. I'm glad that you do. And thank you for being honest. It sounds like, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say that it sounds like you said that you kind of, how you would end your life. So you kind of have this plan in the back of your mind. Was this something that is kind of just there in the back of your mind, or was it something that you were going to do today?
No, not today. I was gonna do it 2.5 years ago, and then right after my accident. But that was before I was getting weekly therapy and had medicine figured out and things like that. But so it was a very out of character feeling to get there so fast after 6, really. In terms of where I used to be and now, I never think about dying. It's the last thing I want to do, and I think that's the dangerous part. It's important to recognize when you get there that fast, is that you just have no choice but to reach out. And I truly think that's how a lot of people go by suicide, is they don't have that crisis plan or whatever.
Right. And you were talking about how you kind of have this plan of, what are your tools, what helps you, and you've been working with your therapist. And you said that you had this plan.
Go ahead.
What was that?
No, go right ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, you said that you kind of had this plan that you were thinking about acting on in the past, a couple of years ago after your accident.
I almost hung myself.
Attempted?
Pardon?
Okay.
Did I what?
Have you ever attempted?
No,
in the past?
I was close, and is actually, the day was the day Bill Cosby was found guilty. And I remember it like it was fucking yesterday. And I was going through, I reported something that happened to me and was treated like shit. Was, just long story short. And I self-advocated for 2.5 years, and I was kind of ignored. And anyway, it was kind of funny how it happened, because I had put a YouTube thing on, and I mean, looking back, if this wouldn't have happened this way, I wouldn't be here. Like, I put something on YouTube, like, I don't know what it was, but, like, I think I was just making sure it was doing right, and the video had ended, and I was sitting on the floor with my dogs, and this Robin Williams interview came on next, like, it queued up, and I heard, like, exactly what I needed to hear at that minute, and I knew, like, this is slow down, this, you didn't just hear that message for nothing, trust the universe and God, and that's when it was a lot, so it was, however, I don't know, because it's not on my mind anymore, like, I have my crisis plan, and I'm really good about being honest with my husband, or I reach out, you know what I mean? Like, I've never attempted suicide, because I truly don't think that would be how it would happen. I would either do it or not, and I don't think I will do it, because that would be the worst thing I can do to my kids, and it would be selfish, but it's weird, because I haven't wanted to die, like, at all, and then a trigger, and I gotta remember that even though I'm on a routine, I'm, doing good, meeting goals, that it can still come on, and I need to recognize it if and when it does, and it did tonight, Scares me a little bit. And
it sounds like that was such a powerful moment for you when you heard that message, and
oh yeah,
you take things, 10 minutes by 10 minutes, and
yeah. I usually, in the past 6 or 7 months, I've been living in, like, the generous present moment, thanks to meditation. And, so, I know I'm going to be okay. I have the tools, and I'm very fortunate to have a good counselor and a great family of support. And, you guys are it's important, the work you do. I'm sure you don't realize how many lives you save, but more than you realize, I can tell you that much.
I'm really glad that, people like you reach out, that you take that step. It's a courageous step. That, you take that chance.
It's life and death,
sometimes.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's important that people in my position are able to answer questions honestly, right? Or else what's the point? I think now that the world's starting to understand mental illness, and people are able to be honest with how they feel, I don't know. It's worked for me. I've never dropped that low from that high that fast. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think ever. So, if anything, it's a good reminder that it can happen even when you're doing great.
Yeah, like you said, that you haven't had these thoughts in 7 months, and all of a sudden, you never know what those triggers can be sometimes.
Yeah, and you don't know if they're coming.
Trying to get through,
yeah.
Trying to get through, like, this emotional kind of, like, seasonal changes, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's these ups and downs.
Peaks and valleys.
Just weathering that storm. Yeah.
Yeah. I worry. So, everything's going on with our country, unless I or you want to talk about politics, but I've recently been purged off of, exiled off of social media during global lockdown. And it's not just me. It is tens and hundreds of thousands of other Americans, because we don't have the popular political affiliation. And it is important to stop and save other lives, that other people realize how that can really affect people. Isolation kills. Human beings are not made to live isolated from each other. You know what I mean? And it happened to me, and I didn't feel it. It happened actually this weekend, and it was affecting, and that wasn't the trigger. But then I'm like, oh my God, like, where's my connection to the outside world? This is crazy. And I worry and pray for those people, but it's funny times, you know? It's really important.
You're right. I think it kind of
puts things
in perspective. Yeah. That you're right, that we are social creatures.
Yes.
And just kind of who we are. And I think you're right. It really does put this in perspective.
Yeah. And because it's so much bigger than political ideology. That's why we are a republic, you know? We're supposed to be able to tell each other we think the other is delusional and not suffer, you know, banishment. Maybe, you know, not be liked, but it's worrisome for me with everybody else. And the last 7 months, the truth is that has been a big part of my stability, is building my platform and bringing awareness to things, and to just wake up and realize that you're off. There's no cause. You know what I mean? And you don't have anybody to take it up with. I don't think I guarantee you other people won't make it through that. You know what I mean? Like, I have all of this support, and a lot of people have none. You know what I mean? So, and I don't think that it's just humans. I think it's like just living things, animals, you know, if they're left from, what is it, like monkeys, you know, they die if they're excluded from their pack or whatever. So,
yeah.
And I really, really like, my whole platform was, and this, crazy enough, I'm banished, but guess what I was doing? I was trying to start conversations between the two parties in this country, to whatever happens, to just at least try, you know, to talk to each other and agree to disagree. And I guess that's not a popular opinion on Twitter. Jesus, this is draconian, you know.
You're trying to advocate for people.
Oh,
right?
and I had done good. I mean,
I care about all people.
And it was helping me. It was helping everybody. And it was a good thing for the country. A good, at least, message. And it's sad to me that those are the people like me, you know what I mean, that are being taken off. I guess it threatens people in power if we are united, not divided. And it's kind of crazy. You're right. Putting it into perspective, it's another reason why it's important that I follow what God gave me to be passionate about and fight the good fight. And it's another reason to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's finding those things that are meaningful to you.
Absolutely.
You know, focusing on those passions. Yeah. So tonight, you just wanted to make sure. So tonight, do you feel like you'll be safe?
100%. I plan on, I got my German Shepherd right here, and she's really smart. So, she's with me. I'm just outside. It's part of, like, getting a change of state. I don't know if you've heard of that. Like, so if I'm inside and I'm triggered, I go out in the cold, and, like, it helps me change my state of mind, right?
Yeah. That makes sense. Like, changing the environment.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, no matter what it is, that's kind of part of my shtick, you know, is like a cold shower in the morning purposely and whatnot. But I mean, I'm looking in on my daughters and their friends, you know, inside my back door, and my husband's, you know, sitting down. I'm so lucky. And I used to hate it because I felt I didn't deserve it after the accident. And I know now that's not the lesson to take away from this. I need to honor life and be grateful to be alive. You know what I mean?
It's just, the way you put that, it's just very beautiful. It makes sense that you went through this journey, you're struggling through it, and now you know what matters to you and what you do want to do.
I feel like the worst thing I could do is to miss that moral of the story, that things happen and we all eventually will die, but I didn't, and I should have. I mean, that I should have been the one to die in all, science, and I didn't. And so I
you didn't.
There's a reason, you know what I mean? I wish, it's just too obvious that there's a reason, and I feel like it would be a slap in the face to these people that lost their loved one, you know what I mean, to take mine for granted. And thank you for talking to me. You have no idea.
You're so very welcome. Thank you for calling.
I just, I can't, I know you make a difference, but it's 10 times that, and I just appreciate it so much. My plan is to take Phoebe in and go cuddle up to my husband and get to bed, and then I'm gonna talk to Erin McDade. She's my counselor in the morning. So, do you think that's a good plan?
Yeah, no, it sounds great to take some time, kind of wind down for the night and get some support from your husband and reach out to your counselor and know that we're here.
Yes.
We're here anytime. No, I know that you know that.
And I will call back. I've called before. It's been 7 months since, let's put it that way. But, so I appreciate it. Don't worry about me, but the sleep is the most important thing for the mind. So, it's part the exhaustion, really it's part that, so, thank you for helping me overcome that moment. That's the best Christmas gift you could have given me. So, it's me, AC. It's me. I'll be right in, Wet. Thank you, honey. Well, I'll let you get to maybe someone where I was 30 minutes ago, and if I need you guys, I will call you back again. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. You take care, and I hope you have a good holiday.
You too.
And know that we're here.
Yes. God bless you. Okay, bye-bye.